I've decided that I am going to go through all of my songbooks. And this is going to be a huge project. What? Okay. Why don't you close it? Okay. My little girl. My little girl. Okay, so I've decided that I'm going to go through all of my songbooks, and I've decided that at age 41, I am going to go through them and actually, what am I trying to achieve? Curate them, I guess. I'm not quite sure what that word means, but I just want to tidy it all up, and because there are many songs, for example, that I never ever sing. I'm not interested in singing them. There are some songs that were written purely to express a thing, and it might have been an ugly thing. Or there are other songs that don't express anything ugly, but the melody's just ugly. Like just songs that I'm never interested in singing. And the thing is that with those songs where the melody is ugly, it's funny because I wrote those melodies or composed those melodies in an ugly, weird way on purpose because I was trying to send a message at the time. Anyway, so I want to go through the songs. Now I'm going to show you my pile of songbooks. Here we go. Forgive the mess around the table, but these are my songbooks. I have been songwriting seriously since age 13. Well, look, I don't songwrite anymore. I finished songwriting when I was about age 29. So these are all my songbooks. I believe there is another display folder that's not in this pile. It's probably somewhere in the house. All of these notebooks are full except for this one. This was the last songbook I ever had, and it was in 2009, I think. Yeah, 2009. There's only a few songs in this one. Only a few because that was kind of when I stopped songwriting. And then the rest is that's kind of like just a self-development kind of course that I was doing, I think. They're notes. So this is the only one that's not full of songs. Since 2009, I have actually written the odd song here or there over the last, well, I'm 41 now, so over the last 12 years or so. But then I haven't captured them all in one place. So they're probably just voice recordings here or there, like on my computer, in old phones, maybe in messages to people. Who knows? Maybe just lyrics lost somewhere in a pile in the back of my wardrobe. I've just lost touch with actually encapsulating them in one place. Now I'm going to show you another pile. So forgive the mess on this table, for goodness sakes. So much mess. So this pile here is more songs because these yellowed pages are all the songs I wrote when I was 13, 14. And then these pages are from another little book I had. And that book has now dissolved and I've only got pages left. Some of these other pages actually come from this songbook, because this songbook has been destroyed somewhere along the way, right? So I've got to go through this pile of stuff too, and I've decided I really need to do it because along the way, some of these got destroyed, see? So this one has water damage. This one is from another songbook, but I've had to tape it back together. This is actually from one of my last songs, 2009. So I had to tape it back together in order to try and not lose the lyrics. This song, I've actually forgotten part of the melody. So that happens. That happens sometimes. And then there's things like this where the notes were not very well done in the first place. Like I never did a good copy of some of my songs, and that's nothing. All right. So that was from when I was 14, I think. So I've just really got to sort through. Some of these also are just typed up versions of songs that are already in the books. So this is what I'm actually gonna go through. It's gonna be a big, massive project. The thing is that there's gonna be a lot to this project because I've got to decide along the way. Whether I keep songs or not, and that's a hard one because for a songwriter, every song that you write or every bit of poetry that you write is so much a part of you, whether it's ugly or not, you know. And also it tells a story in a time in your life, you know. But I'm getting to a point in my life where I'm thinking, this is taking up a lot of space, and do I really want every single thing that I've ever written to be a showcase of who I am? Because by now I'm 41 and not all of these songs I relate to anymore. Some of them a lot of them I'd like to keep just because they're still fun to sing. But then, like I said, there's the odd song here or there that I'm like, I just do not relate to that song anymore. Or I don't, there are some songs that I wrote in anger, for example, that I can look back and go, well, that doesn't apply. That should never have applied. I should have never really, I can see where I was wrong. So therefore, they don't apply anymore. It's a hard one because I always thought that I had written my songs in order for others to also listen to and be able to relate to and not feel alone. That's kind of like what I always wanted my songs to be. I wanted my songs to be companions to people out there. Much like when I listened to my favorite artists growing up, I would pop on a CD and just go, yeah, I really relate to this. And, those artists would have grown up too and gone, oh, okay, as popular as that song is, as much as the world loves this song, I no longer relate to it. And yet they still perform it at their concerts 20 years later. So yeah, I kind of think, well, I don't relate to some of these songs, but maybe someone else will. And so that's going to be a bit of a process. So that's what I'm going to go start doing. Also, I just want to say that this is not all of the songs I've ever written. There is one songbook with precious, precious songs that I really wish I still had, and I no longer have because I completely lost a whole entire songbook on a particular travel. And I regret it to this day. I regret having lost that songbook because in it were songs well, just about every songbook represents a particular era in my life, and those songs in that book from 2005 were songs where I was really fleshing out a lot of stuff. Also, I have a poetry book from my teenhood, my teenage years, that is somewhere in the house. And also I had entire poetry books, maybe 2 of them, maybe 1 of them, a big thick one, that at the time when I moved out of home, I gave to my sister to kind of just have for a while. And she didn't realize that I might want that back. And when she was done with it, she threw it in the bin. So I have lost an entire booklet of poetry that I wrote in my teens. So there you go. Songs and poetry have lives and journeys of their own. And now it's time to get into this. Help!